Welcome to the Man Whore Podcast.
What's up, ass eaters and strap-on suckers, role players and heartbreakers? This is Billy Persida, and you're listening to the Man Whore Podcast. Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to the show if you're new, welcome back if you're not. I'm your host, comedian Billy Persida. Fresh off of my podcation, and wow, do I have some updates for you. But first, I want to start off with some show dates, people. Show dates. Okay, Rockland County. I'm going to be in Sloatsburg, New York on June 16th at Characters Bar and Grill. Then New York City, this Sunday, May 29th, I'll be doing a roast battle at Comedy Fight Club. That's at Lovecraft Bar on Avenue B, 10 p.m. Free show. June 15th, I'll be in Queens at QED doing My First Time. That's Angela Cobb's storytelling show where I will be telling the story of how I lost my virginity or how it was kind of coerced out of me. June 18th, I will be in Queens again at the Creek and the Cave doing a naked roast battle. Yes, I'm going to be doing a roast battle in the nude with my good friend Andrea Allen, who you've heard on the show on more than one occasion. So it should get interesting. Lots of jokes from her about how she thinks I'm a pathetic excuse for a man, and a lot of jokes from me about how I found her pussy terrifying. Should be a fun time. For more details and how to buy tickets, go to manwhorepod.com/comedy. You can find all that there. Now, I gotta say, this is going to be a little bit of a longer intro than usual. Some shit has gone down in my life, and I need to update you. So all you people who like to skip the intros, this one might be one worth sticking around for if you care about what your whore's been up to. But before I get to the sad stuff, first I want to say a shout out to Dervla. Dervla came on out from Ireland or Wales or wherever country that's not America she came from. Oh, thank you for joining. She was doing a visit to New York City, came on out to 2 comedy shows, not just 1, 2 comedy shows. And she brought friends. So you are a fantastic fucker. Thank you so much, Dervla, for coming out. And What the Float was this weekend, and What the Float was amazing. It was exactly what I needed in my life right now. And I know I said during my pre-recorded podcast episodes I was going to be at both nights of the Float. I booked a last-minute gig in New Jersey on Saturday night, so I did not go to that Float. And it turns out, according to Nico, who runs the thing, he says, yeah, man, we sold a Man Whore Podcast ticket. I'm like, cool. He's like, yeah, for Saturday. I'm like, oh, fuck. So to that lovely fan whore who went out and danced through the streets of New York City, I am sorry I wasn't there. I promise I will more accurately announce which nights I will be at Float next month. So please come out. I hope you had fun. Come back again. Bring your friends. Podcation was nice. It was lovely to not have to be worried about finding time to edit and upload and all that stuff for a few weeks. I got to relax. I got to so it was very good for me to take that time off. Thank you everyone for putting up with the semi-generic intros. Thanks to everyone, by the way, in the meantime, over the last 3 weeks, a month, who've been tweeting and sending me emails. They've been very nice, very complimentary. Only one asshole on Reddit. It was great. Shout out to Malik. Sent an email in response to Alexa. She was asking about bro code. She's like, hey, can I ask this guy I used to date if I can bang his friend? And Malik got an answer. He said, first he said, just heard the podcast. Quote, Malik is a proud frat guy. Quote, now I feel like a fucking loser. You're not a loser, Malik. You just do weird initiation rituals. That's all. He says, bro code is a thing. Communicate with your friends, brothers, or whatever. Listen to what they have to say and make sure you both leave the conversation with the understanding of one another. He says, if you don't know the guy, then fuck it. So yeah, apparently the frat guy bro code is real. So for Alexa, it is a good idea for her to ask this one frat guy if she can bang his friend now that they've stopped. And you know, it's so serendipitous. I read this now because 2 days ago, Alexa texts me to say that she asked and she got the approval. Her ex put a stamp of approval on this hot water polo guy's dick. So good for her. And I'm looking forward to updates about how that goes down. So thanks, Malik, for chiming in. And as you all know, you can say hey to me on Twitter at @TheBillyPresida. Say hello. Use the hashtag ManWhorePodcast. Let me know what you think about the show. And if you want to shoot me an email with your comments, your questions, you can email me, manwhorepod@gmail.com. Shout out. Thank you so much to that sexy Washington, D.C. couple who sent me some lovely titties on hashtag National Send a Nude Day. National Send a Nude Day was last week, and I got a great pair of double Ds from them. So thank you so much. If you want to see those, I retweeted them. They're on my Twitter. Oh, man. Okay. Real talk. Smitten A, as I commonly refer to her as, the opera singer, she broke things off right before the whole podcation thing started. It was right before all the episodes were uploaded. It's been 3 weeks, a month, and it's been an up and down month for me. I look, I'm not going to sit here and cry like I have. We've had enough podcast intros where I'm in tears. None of that today. Also, I've had some more time to get over her and all that jazz and think about it. But I gotta say, it really fucking hurt. It hurt really bad. We had a date where we kind of checked in with our feelings and were we seeing other people. We're touching base about this relationship because it was going really well. Or so I thought. Thought there were some really strong feelings. We were talking every day. We saw each other like 1, 2, maybe 3 times a week. That's a lot, especially for me. And I thought it was a good chat. We briefly did the, are you seeing other people? I said, yeah, I'm fucking some other people when I have time, but I've been seriously seeing someone else as well. And then she's like, okay, cool. I've also been seeing this other guy. That's also pretty serious. I'm like, great. But then it's like we didn't even care about that. We were focused more on each other. And we were affirming that what we were doing was serious. At least I thought so, because we were both crying by the end of it and holding each other, falling asleep next to one another. And so a week after that conversation, she calls me and she breaks it off. She says, I don't want to keep seeing each other. And I thought it was about the move. I thought it was like, okay, well, the move's coming up this weekend when she leaves the city, and maybe she's being a bit of an emotional coward and just deciding like, okay, I don't want to do long distance. I don't want to feel the pain of being away from someone. So I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off, which I also assume meant she was going to do that with the other guy. Thought she'd go like, yeah, I'm just going to cut these ties, which is going to hurt like shit, but then it won't linger on for months. I was devastated. Then I got the feeling like she didn't break things off with the other guy. I didn't unfriend her on Facebook. I started seeing, then I saw like interactions with them on her feed. So I'm like, that doesn't look like comments from a guy who just got dumped. And then a week later, I realized they didn't break things off. They went on a road trip to St. Louis together. They're still together and all these strong feelings. And it was like getting broken up with all over again. I was numb. I was just starting to get over her. I was having up and down days, but I was really making progress. And then when I see this, I'm just like, the fuck? So she didn't break up with me because of the impending move. She broke up with me because she chose the other guy. That led me to send some nasty text messages. in any breakup, there's I feel like a leeway of acceptable, not nice text messages to send, especially ones where you're not name calling, just expressing your hurt, your anger. People, be fucking honest, be straightforward. You think what she was trying to do was be nice. Being nice hurts way fucking more. Just fucking do it. Because it hurts way more if the pain has to come in stages. First, it's we're ending things. Then it's like, I don't know, maybe you're still with the guy. That hurts. Okay. Then it's, no. We went on a fucking road trip to St. Louis, a city we had talked about me visiting just to see you because I was in love with you. That hurts way fucking more than, look, I'm going with the other guy. I'm going to be hurt either way. When you're breaking up with someone, it's not that you're the bad guy necessarily. It's just that you're going to hurt the other person. That's happening. Be a fucking adult. Be straightforward. I'm only just now starting to become not numb, and I don't think I would be able to do that without this other woman who's been in my life. I met her at Hacienda, and she's great and she's lovely. We've been going on it's like real dating. It's not, we're not just like fucking. I don't think she's just a friend who I fuck. I do like her. What's sad about the breakup was that it made me so numb to like all feelings for everyone. I'm going to call her P. Okay. I'm just going to call her P. That's what we're going to call her from now on. The feelings I had or have for P need to be thawed out. I'm sure they're there. I'm pretty sure they're there, but it's hard for me to responsibly and accurately express emotions that I feel towards her because I'm like, I don't feel anything. And it's been coming out in stages, and she's been phenomenal. She's in the whole poly world, and like, that's kind of like her jam. And I don't think I'd have gotten through this without her. She's been phenomenal. She's been willing to listen and hear me. And if I just needed to come over and be held, she was okay with just doing that. She see, now I'm tearing up a little bit. I said, hey, I need to come. I went on the day that I found out she went on the road trip with the guy. Again, I was devastated. I was numb. I was actually set up on a date with Emma's roommate. Our guest this week is Emma Willmann, very funny comedian. Tell you more about her later. She set me up with her roommate. And I just, what? I should have, as soon as this thing happened with the girl, I should have rescheduled. I said, this is, as something came up today, it's not a good time. Let's reschedule in a week or two. But I still went. I was like, you know what? Fine. I'll go. It'll be fun. How often do I get to get set up on a date with a sort of lesbian? and the date kind of went awkwardly because I was in not a great place. I called P and I said, I need to come over. And I crashed, and I wake up the next morning, and she says, and I go to the bathroom, and she says, the blue one is yours. She had bought me a toothbrush. And that's really fucking sweet. The toothbrush is it's a cute move. Buying the toothbrush for the other person is a great move. And she even stepped it up. It was a vibrating toothbrush. I was like, okay, she spent a couple dollars extra on me. She likes me. And I'm like, wow, do I deserve this chick? Because I've not been giving her like the emotional attention that she deserves and that I had been giving her previously because, of what I've been going through. And yet she's still been there, and she's been trying to be good, and she's expressed her emotions, and she's expressed when she was feeling insecure versus when, how I was. And then I was going to almost not go to float. And then I decided I'm going to go to float. And she says, look, I'm not going to go to float. I don't think that's a good place for you to be because I met this other woman at float, and her roommate, her best friend, who's, not going to be a fan of mine. She was going to be there. I didn't know if I was going to feel uncomfortable the whole time. I go see a movie before float. My phone's, I don't have my phone. My phone's off because I'm a decent human being during a good movie. My phone's off. I saw Money Matters. George Clooney deserves my phone to be off during his film. So when the movie's over, float's about to start, and I'm going to go walk over to the location. And I look at my text, and it's P. And she says, I changed my mind. Can I still come? Obviously, she didn't get an answer. Then she says, never mind. I don't have any cash. I can't. And I say, hey, no, I'll spot you. Come. I'll tell you where the next location is. And my next text I get from her is, oh, I just got off at 28th Street. I'm almost there. She, on a whim that I needed her, showed up. And now I'm tearing up. Yeah, again. I was like, okay, this chick's in it for me. I hope I can be in it enough to deserve her. So as someone has, I think, mistreated my heart through what she thought was being nice. Again, this fucking cruel opera singing bitch. Okay, I said it. Fine. I name called. Through being nice, she ended up being insanely cruel. And so as I'm being heartbroken by this one, it's you should all know that I am in good hands. It seems like. So stay tuned to see where this goes, because she seems to be pretty special. When my heart thaws out, I hope that there is still blood pumping for P. So that's where I'm at. A little heartbroken, feeling optimistic. I've had good friends just counsel me, talk to me when I needed it. There were some sad tweets. Thanks to all the people on Twitter who said nothing but nice things the night that shit went down. And you're all great. You're all great. Knowing that I was going to be able to come onto the podcast and be able to share this with everybody, and that at least some of you care about it, means a lot to me. So again, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you as always for reaching out and saying kind words. Obviously I thank the Patreon people for their dollars, but I thank you all, not just for your downloads, but for caring. Some people say it's nice to know that you have a friend who cares. And for me, it's nice to know that a few thousand people on the internet give a shit about me. So thank you again. Let's move on. Let's talk about Man Whore Monday, people. What better way to get you all to participate in a very easy online event than with a little bit of guilt about my breakup? I don't know. Okay. I said it last week. I sent out an email blast. You should all have right now in your iCal, your Google Calendar, whatever, a notification for Monday, June 6th. Because I have declared that date Man Whore Monday. My birthday is June 5th, and the birthday present I want from you people, more than your dollars, more than your love, more than a butt plug that fits me properly, is I want your participation on Man Whore Monday. On Monday, June 6th, remember, put a notification, a reminder in your phone. Monday, June 6th, you are going to do two things for me. This is your birthday present to me, and it's 100% free. On Monday, June 6th, you are going to go to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating for the Man Whore podcast. You don't have to leave a review. You can if you want, but a 5-star rating. If you don't have an iTunes account, make one. You can delete it later. I just need the 5-star review on iTunes. That's number one. And then the second thing, number two, is you're going to share the iTunes link on Facebook, specifically on Facebook, because that's where everyone and their mother is. If everyone and their mother was on Tumblr sharing porn gifs, then I would tell you to share it there too. Share a link to the show on Facebook, and I've made this very easy for you to do. You're going to go on Monday, June 6th, right? That's the dates. It's in your iCal, your Gcal, on a Post-it note. Monday, June 6th, you're going to go to manwhorepod.com. At the top of the website, you are going to see a template you can copy and paste into a Facebook status. You can edit it to say whatever you want, but I'm going to make it as easy for you as possible. So again, Monday, June 6th, Man Whore Monday. You're going to leave a 5-star rating on iTunes, and you're going to share the iTunes link on Facebook, telling people to check out the show. That's what you can give me for my 27th birthday, because I think if we do all of that, we can make the Man Whore Podcast a top 10 podcast on iTunes, at least for a few hours. So that's what I want for my birthday, is to be one of the top 10 podcasts on iTunes. It's the only thing I want. Let's make it happen. I know you can do it. This is something we can do together, and really, I can't do it. Only you can. I can only give myself 1 5-star rating. But thousands of you can do it all on the same exact day and break the algorithm. Let's fucking do it, people. And because Man Whore Monday is so important to me, that's where I'm placing the emphasis of my pitching. So I'm going to right now do the impersonal Patreon thank you roll call sans sales pitch. And wow, since the podcation started, there's so many new people to thank. So let's get into it. Thank you so much. Lance and SB, Jennifer C, Jazz O, Nelly H, Jeff C, Megan N, Justin C, Madeline B, Dave K, Brian W, Frank D, Jeremy B, Christina D, Holly F, Danielle D.P., Andrew R, Sarah B, Chris with a K, and still more names to go. Catherine B, Alex S, Chris W, Lauren M, Gregory Y, Anna Super Slut, Ed B, Sean B, Prickly Peach, Julian H, Sean N, Mary G, Dervla, Corey G, Alfredo A, Mark G, The Sexy Emily S, Toby T, Anthony C, Greg A, Jeffrey J, Almost There, Lawrence B, Sarah S, and the always perpetually horny Lauren A. Thank you all so very much for donating to the show, and you too can join dozens of fan whores by supporting me on Patreon. You can pledge as little as $1 per month, and you can cancel at any time. To do so, go to manwhorepod.com and click the Patreon banner on the side. And you can go to manwhorepod.com for all your Man Whore podcast needs, whether it's signing up for the email list, which I really encourage you all to do, so you can stay up to date with all the new Man Whore podcast news. Stay tuned for the end of this week's episode. I'm playing a little teaser clip of my bonus episode with AJ. Okay? And that's available for all the $4 and up patrons. Now, this week's guest is Emma Willmann. Oh, I've known Emma a long time. Hilarious comedian. I met her back in my NYU days when she was in grad school here in the city. Super funny. Lesbian. Has a fabulous, like, Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes haircut. Love it. And I thought we'd get to know each other on a sexual basis now, since we've had plenty of conversations about everything else over the years. So I went over to her apartment. We had a little chit chat. Very cool stuff. My favorite moment is when I teach them about the purpose of testicles. Her and her roommate's sitting in, so she chimes in a few times, and both lesbians. And neither of them really understood what the testicles were for. So I was honored to educate them. So this is a fantastic episode. It's great. Emma, of course, has her own podcast called First Time. She also has a Sirius XM show on the first Tuesday of every month called The Check Spot. So if you have Sirius XM, you should check that out as well. But now I know this has been a long intro. Thank you for bearing with me, people. Like I said, means a lot that I can sometime unleash my soul upon your ears. But now let's get a little more slutty. Let's talk about strap-ons and balls and lesbians and such. Let's talk to Emma Willmann.
Considering I'm such a fucking mess who is a sack of shit, it is amazing that I am...
And I love that you say you're having a hard time meeting people. You've been single, 5 days? Maybe 7.
You just got broken up. You just broke off?
I didn't get broken up with. I cheated and then met someone else. Yeah. I haven't ever been broken up with, surprisingly, except for I've had people not totally interested.
Just that one, really. Sorry.
2. There was another girl.
Okay.
All right.
So wait, so how are you having a hard time meeting people if you were just dating someone and then you're meeting so many people you're able to cheat?
No. But you know what? That was complicated because I was so in love with the last person I was with. I really was. Adore. Like, I've never I had this one relationship in college where I was like, I've been in love before, but this last relationship, I just adored the person, like so funny and inspiring, and the biggest thing was I love spending time with her. Like I would be like, oh my god, I can't wait. I would be like, I can't wait to get to just spend time with this person. But we were having like issues communicating physically. Okay. And instead of me being like responsible at working it out, I did try to see a therapist and stuff, all these things, but I ended up texting with an ex of mine who I had a very comfortable sexual relationship with. But even when we were texting, I wouldn't text as me. I would role play that I was a guy, because recently I've gotten really into exploring like gender identity stuff. Okay. So I liked expressing myself sexually as a guy. So for me, I was really compartmentalizing, because it was almost like I didn't even feel like I was cheating. I felt like it was almost like interactive porn. I know this is a cop out for me facing that I was doing something wrong, but I was doing something totally wrong. But I started doing that, and then in my relationship, it ended up like coming to a head, I guess, no pun intended, about that was happening, and then we had this whole back and forth, and we ended. But
what was the problem where you guys couldn't communicate? What was it like? Hey, I need you to like curl up more. Like
no, it was
more shallow. It's
we were having. I don't want to. Any other one, I'll divulge like everything of the relationship, but we were just not connecting physically. Per se. Yeah. But any other one, I'll like let her rip.
Fair enough.
But I do really respect the person. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's too bad. And then I'll think because if I couldn't make that one work, how would I ever make it work? And who would want to be with someone? I get self-conscious about the schedule of being a performer, and then I feel like I'm very like self-involved with trying to make it, but I guess a lot of people are with what they're trying to do. Like we were in law school, we'd be like la 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 la, or whatever they do in law school.
Books,
books,
a lot of books, and arguing.
Emma and Billy on law school. Books.
This you guys do. This is a good time to introduce. I'm sitting here with a fellow comedian, Emma Willmann. Well, I can't even keep track of your credits anymore. What's your latest thing?
I'm going to be in the June issue of Elle magazine.
What?
Yeah. I'm doing something with Teen Vogue on Monday, and then so I'm all over these women's magazines, which is funny. And then I shot a reality thing called All In with Cosmo, which will be on Cosmo Digital. I don't know when that's coming out. Sometime this summer.
Very, very funny lady. Just very talented. I've known you a long time. You're
so
one of
long.
Those people who knew me as that NYU kid.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And you were doing poker. Do you still do that?
I was a dealer, yeah.
Yeah.
I quit a few years ago.
Good for you.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But, it's funny. I was listening to someone else's podcast, and Ashley Brooke Roberts was on it.
Right.
And the host says, oh, our other guest, Billy Persea, he used to do these like weird sex party stuff. And
Which I didn't know that about you. I had no idea you did sex parties. I'm so interested.
All right. Well, I mean, Ashley had a similar reaction. She said, "Little Billy?"
Right. I was like, what? Big Billy now, bitch. Like,
yeah.
All right.
I prefer more average sized Billy. Yeah, to be accurate. But yeah. So you're one of those rare people who knew me from a different time.
Wait, so when did you get in? I don't know if your listeners have already heard it a bunch, but when did you get into going to sex? Like, what was your first sex party?
I'd been going to some like Craigslisty like blow bang thing, bukakis.
Right. And are there girls there that are, it's blow bang with
it's like
heterosexual blow bang?
Yeah, it's like a chick, she's blowing a bunch of dudes.
Hello, hallelujah.
It's pretty great.
But the thing is
God
with that,
her.
and she's not getting paid, this is because
the ones where they got paid, I didn't attend.
I've been with sex workers before, but I haven't hired them.
Ah, okay.
But
that's
I
interesting.
like to think that I'm open to that, but then I sometimes get scared that I would really want to pay for the girlfriend experience, where I would really want to believe that they're in grad school. Like, genuinely believe it. Genuinely believe it. I would want to believe that they're in grad school. I would want them to. I would not want to feel that they are on drugs. I would want to have a really nice night, and I would know how I'd want to map it out. But I don't know. That's hard to find because sex work, since it's illegal, it's hard to really say. But I would make that investment if I really.
If you really thought she was a good enough actress.
Yes, like I would want to. Yes. But I've been the ones. Yeah, it's tricky. But because to go into a sex, so it's just some girl that volunteers to do that.
Yeah, well, there was an ad, and there was a guy, and he organizes those.
Because it's like his girlfriend's a slut, and he's like, "Let me show off my little slut."
Kinda.
Oh my god!
And then he just liked me that he kept inviting me back.
Was the girl cute?
They're different girls.
Oh my god!
This one guy who was organizing all these things.
Oh, I love it! What a little angel!
Yeah,
an angel from heaven. That's amazing. What a good girl! But man, my heart goes out to that. That's just great. But I couldn't do. I mean, I would love to like go in and like gender role play. I don't know if that would be accepted there.
What, like make her like suck a strap on or something?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that would probably work. The type
I
of
don't
women that he
know.
has are pretty fluid. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I've seen plenty like strap on sucking
so
at parties.
so it's just some girl that's like, yeah, I just can't wait to suck all these dicks.
Yep. And I'm like, I organized one for a girl.
Wow.
So exactly. She was just like, I want to suck a lot of dicks.
God
And I
bless
was
her
like,
heart.
I can provide a bunch of dicks
Yeah.
for you. I will. Sure.
You know what? I know how to get dicks. Yeah. So do you guys like look at each other while you're getting blown, or everyone just jacks off, or how's it work?
It's been different ways, but most of
Right.
the times like a circle around her, and she's just
Wow.
spinning around, sucking, hands are out, and sometimes I got to bat away a guy's hand because
Right.
Jefferson hosts a lot of like bi-friendly ones, so
Right.
a lot of the guys there are bi, so they like dick, and
Does it feel sad afterwards? I feel like I would get really depressed.
I don't. I mean, it depends on my feeling going in.
Right.
If I was already depressed going into it and I was getting that blowjob for a release to like distract
Right.
myself, then I'm coming down hard again, like drugs. You know,
Right.
like, okay, let's take some Coke. Let's feel good. And then, let's bring it
Right.
back down.
It's all
My
about
life-
why you do something.
Yeah, my life is still sad. So,
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
But I just can't believe that a girl is like down to do that.
Yeah, of course.
That's great.
There are plenty of women who just like sex stuff and different things. And yeah.
Because I've been with women where, like, while we were having sex, we would like dirty talk out a situation where I would have them do that. Like
Yeah.
that, I'm always like into. Like,
Where you're like, I'm going to whore you out.
yeah, I'm gonna whore you out. I'm gonna take you around in like a van and like park places, and guys will come bang you in the back, and you're not allowed to get off, and da 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 da. And then I, like all kinds of stuff. But I never knew that someone would really. But any of those girls that I was with, where we would role play that out, I wouldn't actually want that to happen
Sure.
because they were actually my girlfriends.
Right. Well, I mean, sometimes it was actually a girlfriend or a wife. I did
Right.
this-
What
I
a
had
wife.
I had a couple on the
This is
show.
giving me hope for a wife.
Yeah, there's all sorts of arrangements.
My
can be
roommate's here.
made.
Shout out to my lovely roommate.
What up, roommate?
And she is disgusted, as she should be.
Are you not a sexual deviant like she is?
She's an angel from heaven who is great.
Virgin. Virginal. No.
No.
Far from.
She's healthier. She's great.
You're saying she's more well adjusted than us.
Yes,
Maybe. Okay.
definitely.
No, I had on a swinger couple because
Definitely.
I had done like a gangbang with the wife, and the husband was there, and then they came back and they invited me for a second gangbang, a smaller one, and then I had them on the podcast and we talked about it. I did one episode
And they're
with just
just-
me and her, and then I did a second episode with all three of us talking about it, about their swinger lifestyle. They've been together 20 years.
Can I ask? I want to ask my. Can I ask my roommate a question?
Go for it.
Do you think that a relationship could be healthy? Like, could there be a healthy relationship where one of the people is getting shared?
Of course.
I
Sorry.
think so. I mean, it's so hard for me to understand because I'm not that person. I don't think I could be in that mindset. But if they are truly in that mindset, as is their partner, then I guess so.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, there's all sorts
I agree
of
with that.
poly people, ethical non-monogamy, all that jazz.
I guess
do
it's trying to
whatever you
figure
want.
out how you could do that, because I like with
Trial
Becca,
and
I'm
error.
not sure.
You'd have to just try, and then you find out that's not for you, and hopefully y'all can communicate enough to say, we tried that, not for us.
Right.
Do we still love each other? Let's keep going.
Because I was going on a couple dates with this girl who was poly, is poly. And it was very inspiring the way that she processed it. And she had a primary partner, all the stuff. It was very interesting. But there was one thing that was tough. She wouldn't kiss on the mouth, and I had a hard time.
I hate that.
Yeah, so
Fuck.
because I had a hard time. I think also coming on, like my sexual confidence right now is not high. If you had interviewed me 3
The
years
chick
ago,
who was just dating someone then also was able to still be high enough
Yeah.
to cheat.
No.
It's like, my sexual
but
confidence
I was
ain't
just
so high.
texting. The texting wasn't about even wanting the sexual release. It was almost just like wanting validation and being a coward to communicate. That
Fair,
was.
fair,
but
fair.
I've cheated a lot where it was other stuff. But if you had talked to me 3 years ago, I was fucking killing it on the sexual front because I was like. I was bam, bam, bam. Everyone I was with was into the same kind of dirty talk. They like to get degraded. They like to get like choked. They like the same kind of role playing. So I was such a well-oiled machine with how I was handling people. I was killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a disaster. I was with women for like, boom, kinky, 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 kinky. And then when I went on a date with that social worker, I swear to God, end of the night, we had a nice date. So I would go to say goodnight, and I went and put my hand on her, not her throat, but like right below the throat, like to apply pressure, because I just usually with all the girls I've been with in
get
the
like a
past,
sign to see,
to
like,
let
is that-
you know that I know that all women are down with this. Because in my head, after it was every single person I've been on a date with, I used to feel it out differently. I'd be like, "So are you into kink or what?" And they would everyone would say yes. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to let girls know now from the jump I'm down.
Yeah.
So date with social worker. She's really nice, blah, blah. Well, not that nice, but go on the date and we're in the car and I put my hand on her, then I went as I was going to kiss her, I started like just applying more pressure and she was like, wait, what are you doing? And I didn't, and then when we were having sex, I realized I didn't know how to have sex that wasn't, because she's like, no name calling, no this, no that. She didn't want a gender role play. She wanted me to be like a lesbian. I was so confused. And then my sexual confidence started to dip. And then it just nosedived from there. So by the time I was with this girl that with the no kissing, I had a hard time like reading her because I'm not like in tune with all that. I was trying to spank her. I hadn't spanked anyone in a long time. Had no spanking rhythm. I was bombing Billy.
Oh,
I bombed. I felt no good. I felt like I bombed in bed. I was like, I went home and Googled YouTube videos, how to spank, how to talk dirty.
You're like, I used to be a great spanker, but
great.
it's just like stand up. If you don't go up for a while, you get a little rusty.
I'm so rusty.
You're hitting her on the
I
hip.
hit her head. Oh God. I apologized. It was no good. I didn't know how to. I was like holding her neck down, and it was just. And she didn't want to be the greatest. She liked being called like positive. I didn't know what to say.
Thing, yeah.
I needed someone to feed me lines. It was no good.
Well, Nikki Glaser, as you know, already kind of just did that.
Did she?
They did a sketch on her show where they hired 2 porn actors to like be in a room and film a porno, but they were wearing headpieces, and comics in the other room were feeding them lines to say to each other.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I used to be really good though. Like my skills in life are, I love networking, right? I used to be good at shoplifting. I stopped doing that years ago. And then dirty talking. And that's it. That's all I have to offer the world.
And a little bit of comedy.
I'm all right at that. I'm all right. But and so I was like, if I'm not good at this, like who am I anymore?
I get like that too. I'm just like, if I'm not fucking, like, what am I? Or
right.
Can
I ask you a question about your sex stuff?
Go for it.
How do you keep your penis hard for a long period of time?
Because I'm probably inside a woman. It feels good.
And then you just keep it hard?
If my mind is there, yeah. If I'm distracted.
Do you talk to your Are you like, stay hard, stay hard?
No, I'm not even thinking about it. The only time I think about it is if it starts going soft, and then I have to keep myself from worrying.
Can you feel it going soft?
Yeah, I can.
And what
sense
happens to the cum that's in the penis if it starts to go soft?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm doing sex ed for a lesbian.
I'm so interested.
You're gay too, right?
Well, I was up until about a year ago.
Not even. She had only been with women, and then.
So you're dabbling with the cock now.
Yeah, I had sex with a guy for the first time in August.
Which is amazing because she's 30, but also I was so happy for her because I thought, oh, this is great. It's going to open up a whole new world for people to date. But
right.
It hasn't been that easy.
Okay.
Which is insane because she's really pretty, funny, has a good job. Right. It's hard.
Yeah, no, so many questions. I can sense it going soft, and then I just have to like not freak out.
Where does the cum go?
Well, the cum is always in the balls. Always in the balls.
Oh yeah!
Wow. The cum's not in the penis.
Billy, I forgot about that, and I guess that is a part of me. I didn't think of that. Because with a strap-on, there's no balls. I forgot that you guys had balls. Your cum is in the balls.
Cum is in the balls until you ejaculate.
Oh my God!
And then it then shoots, comes out, and pow!
Jeez!
It cocks back out of the balls, and then shoot right out the dick.
Wow!
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
that's
fun.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah, did it a couple times a day. It was great.
That's awesome. See, because in porn, I love seeing the guy in the porn, but when the penis, and I'm not.
You wish it was see through so you could see the cum come out of the balls and be like, oh, that's where it's from.
Actually, that's when I have a problem. That's when I'm like, because I love it. I'm like, I want to see the guy in there, like, rah, rah, rah. But the second if I see the ejaculation, that's when I'm like, oops.
Does that take you out of it because your strap-on cock isn't ejaculating, so you're not?
I don't know what it is.
Associating.
Maybe I can't self-actualize. That's a great point. But man, that's a great point. But something about the way the juice dribbles out, I don't like that.
Well, I mean, if it's dribbling, I don't know. It's usually for me shooting. I don't know.
Really?
Maybe if you're watching like 60-year-old guys, then maybe it's dribbling out.
I've gone through a long phase where I do like watching much older men with much younger women.
Ooh.
Although I saw such a fucked up porn. This was so gross. It was an old guy. Literally, I was like, ugh. Emma. He was in a walker, and the girl had to bend over in front of him in a walker. Yeah. So gross. Because I'm sick of watching porn. My sex drive is even down. I'm sick of watching porn.
And now
I want to get inspired by a new. I want to find someone. I want to be inspired and in love and have a emotional connection.
Well, I'd love to have love too, but I'm starting to give up on all that.
Really?
Well, the reason I started the show, I know I sound like a broken record to people who, but it's like I started the show because women would hook up with me, but they wouldn't date me.
See, I thought that was like the opposite thing. I thought women wanted to date and not hook up.
That's what I thought, but this is like the only fucking city in the world where you have to go like reassure your Tinder date. No. I'm just trying to fuck
hilarious.
you. I promise. Like,
hilarious.
I don't want a relationship either, right?
That's hilarious. But
so,
do you think it's because of your schedule?
No, I think it's just because I'm so open sexually and I talk about it openly and honestly. And I think, you know what? Someone once called me a good, like a trainer dick for casual sex because I give like the boyfriendy vibe. I cuddle. I like making out. I say sweet things. I'm respectful, allegedly. It depends who you ask on Twitter.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I'm good for, if you're fresh out of your relationship, you're getting all those boyfriendy vibes that you miss, but you still have that casual dick that you're not like tied down to. And so that, I mean, that's my plight. That's
my pitch.
Yeah,
that's my pitch.
But
the casual dick that you're not tied down to.
But all that, sex drive going down. I was experiencing that somewhat recently, and my identity is almost so tied to being this like whorish guy.
Yeah. Me too. That's where I started to feel it fucked with me so much, and I was having like not confidence in what I could offer. I was like, wait, if I can't offer this, like, what can I necessarily offer? Like, but it was just. I was just like really like retreating into not feeling like a sexual person. I'm like, oh my God. Or also like, I think I feel, so many like insecurities about explaining my like life and all of these and meeting people. It's just, sex isn't an isolated thing, so it's like your sex and sexuality, it all weaves together. So if you're feeling insecure in other areas of your life, fucking affects it.
If I'm feeling fat, I definitely like I think my sex drive has been down because I've gained weight. And I've been having trouble get back into shape. So I'm just kind of like, I don't even want to fuck me. Why would other people want to fuck me? I'm not even gonna try. Like,
exactly. I don't even want to fuck me. You know who I don't want to fuck? Me.
I mean, look, I wake up next to some empty boxes of cookies. I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
Me too. There
are so many days I wish I would wake up next to a dead hooker instead of like the things that
didn't
I
need to say dead, but Sorry,
good point. Not proud of that.
Wait, I literally have like Cheerios in my bed and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then I don't even clean it up.
It's just so gross. And then I don't know. Sometimes a woman wants to come over. I'm like, you don't understand the mess that is
You don't
here.
know what's in my bed right now.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't care. And you're like, you say that now. But
then you're going to come over and be like, is that a shit stain or a brownie stain? I don't want to know. And
it's a pot roast.
And surprise, it's neither. It's a blood stain. So yeah, that's bad.
Because the girl was on her period, or
no, just probably because like I picked a scab and it bled.
Yeah, Jesus.
I know. Bad habits.
How do you incorporate? Like, do you do anal stuff on the first time you're with someone, or
on who? On whom?
The girl.
That's great. Oh, okay. On her, I'm not a big butt fucker. I was just having this conversation this morning. I had a date last night and she slept over and we were talking about it. Because she's like, she likes anal sex.
Yeah.
But she's like, well, I never ask you to do it because I know you don't like it. I was like, it's not that I don't like it. It's that I don't like it. Like, it's not that it's not my preferred hole.
Right.
Like, I will have anal sex if I'm asked to. If she's like, I really want you to fuck me in the ass. I'm like, great, I'll do that.
What about like putting finger, do you eat her ass or finger her
I
ass?
don't eat ass.
Yeah.
I'm
way into that.
Love my ass being eaten.
Good for
That's
you.
my one like double standard.
Why not?
I can't. I did it.
You got to
once.
be with super clean, pretty. If I feel close enough to someone that I want to have sex with them, like I want to play with their ass.
The only time I did it was about a year ago, and I was in love.
Oh,
and that's the only time. Love is eating ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you weren't. It's not something you're feeling.
It's just not something
I'm all about it. Like I feel weird if I can't have it because I want full access.
I mean, I hear dudes talk about that all the time. I don't get it.
It makes me feel closer to the person, and I want to be able to. I remember there's this one girl that. No, I've been with a few people where it's like they like to have their ass fucked, pussy fucked, and their clit sucked at the same time. And when I was pulling that all off at the same time, I was like, I'm a rock star.
Did you just become Vishnu and you grew extra arms?
And it was like their ass needed to be fucked at a different rhythm from being inside them and everything. But then when I was able to do that, I felt like a maestro.
Right. I mean,
this was in my sexual heyday.
At your peak.
At my peak. I don't know if I could do that now. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I cannot say.
Butt stuff is fun. like I said, I'll fuck girl nest. Feels great. It's not that I dislike it. It's not, it's my third favorite.
Right.
Hole.
Right.
But on me, totally. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So long as I'm feeling relaxed and like clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my asshole is perpetually shaven.
Do girls ever like it? Like, are they like, oh, I don't do that?
I don't really request it. Like I get girls who go for it. The chick who broke up with me 2 weeks ago, the first time we actually did something sexual, she's like giving me a blowjob, and out of nowhere she went and just went for it. And this was like a very kind of prudent chick type who like she doesn't sleep around a lot. She didn't seem like
so
that.
she said.
Well, it didn't seem like a move in her
never
wheelhouse.
Do this. Oh, right.
And she went for the finger. I'm like, this is great, but very surprising for you. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Has anyone else in the apartment had people that the guys seem to request that?
We're looking at you, dog.
If there's a dog in the apartment, he's not calling my roommate a dog. Billy's getting really aggressive. Because it seems like a lot of guys like that.
See, I'm fascinated because it's now only been 2.
And they didn't. No one seemed to.
Well,
Did they know that you were previously only with women? Because maybe they're holding back. But like, look, she's very new to dick. I don't want to like freak her out, ruin it for all men when just trying to shove it in there.
Yeah, no, they knew. No, one I thought about, but he had trouble keeping it hard.
That can happen.
But like always had trouble, and I
Always had trouble.
and I thought it was me, and now
I'll give you a hint. It's almost never you.
and it's not.
Oh, that's good to hear. Yeah, why would it be her? It's him. He's got a problem with his balls.
Unless there's some sort of really crazy thing going on, in which case it's still his job to communicate, hey, this is making me uncomfortable or turning me off or whatever. It's almost always us. It's always a mental thing. I mean, or if it's a physical
What's
thing.
the mental thing?
Well, sometimes it can just physically be happening, right? Like you could just be getting softer. But then if I freak out in my head, so if I don't talk to my dick, because if I start talking to my dick, I start like psyching him out. Be like if I start worrying, like, oh my God, I'm losing my erection. I gotta get harder. I'm just not gonna get harder.
Right.
So I have to like keep my mind off of it.
Right.
But some guys, that can totally be a thing. It's happened to me too. Maybe you lose your erection once with a girl, and then the next time I go to hook up with her, I'm so worried about it. I'm like, fuck, I went soft last time. I gotta stay hard this time, and then it happens again. It's very mental.
What do the girls say when you go soft?
A lot of them just totally. I tend to hook up with some pretty like sexually intelligent women.
Right.
I like to think so. They kind of get it. They know. They're like, it's fine. We really make it a non-issue because we'll just start doing other stuff. I'll go down on her. I'll finger her. She'll maybe go down on me. I mean, because sex doesn't just have to be me fucking her in the pussy. Like there's all sorts of different things we could do that are fun, awesome, and crazy. Maybe she takes out a toy, and yeah.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Okay, so with him though, it seems.
I really feel like I'm educating a couple lesbians here. It's great.
This is like so. Okay, I don't want to take over.
No.
Please.
This is funny. I like.
But with him, for example, he was easily able to come from blowjobs, right? Easy peasy. And so when he couldn't through vaginal sex, that's when it made me feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me.
That's just him and his dick.
It is?
I have a buddy who's just like that. I went to high school with him, and I was crashing at his house for a week in LA. And then first night there, he's telling me his entire sexual history, which is a little weird. I'm like, I get it. Like I have the sex podcast, but I haven't seen you in 8 years, so can we hold off on me knowing your whole history? But he's saying like, yeah, man, I can't come from sex, only from blowjobs, so I could be fucking her for like a half hour. That's just him and his dick. That's just how his dick works.
That is so interesting.
I mean, just how like y'all's pussies are all fucking different. Guys sometimes can have different dicks.
Are they that different, Emma?
I don't know.
I
knew how to get all my girls off.
Me too.
Sometimes
I think,
sometimes it's about getting to know but
right,
yeah.
you have to get to know that pussy. Like that's why I don't tend to fuck on first encounters. That's why I don't go fuck at sex parties, because I don't think I'm gonna be as good because I just met you. So I'm like, if I go home with a girl and she wants to have sex, normally I'll try to say, look, especially if I think I'm gonna see her.
You've never
again.
had someone you couldn't get off?
Okay,
I did.
Also, I think with lesbians, and you'll probably know, unfortunately, I think a lot of lesbians and women in general have had abuse situations.
Women in general, definitely.
Women in general. So there was an ex who had a severe abuse in her past, and it was just not something she could.
Because I couldn't get off. I was with this actress who was younger than me, and I don't want to say her name, but I couldn't. We hooked up a couple times.
We know
Never
exactly
got
how
it
many
off.
syllables are in that name,
Yeah,
though. I will
but
say
I
that.
could never. It was interesting, and it was interesting, and I was really like, wanted to make her. I felt like she was much younger than me, but I really make her relax, like every single thing. And then it was interesting, and then it was very interesting. It was interesting.
I still think that they're all a little different. They all have like a different cheat code.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you just got to get
so
to know
many
it.
different body. Like some people's, like my nipples are really sensitive. Some people don't have sensitive nipples. You know what I mean? It's like everybody's different.
And so I think guys' dicks. It's not that we're as different as y'all are, but some do. So yeah, that's not the first time I've heard of someone who only comes from blowjobs, or and sometimes it can be from conditioning of how they were masturbating or what their previous sex life was like.
But they need
or
to
whatever.
say something. Like I feel like he should have said something to her. Like it's not you.
Yeah, even
it's
like
me.
beforehand, just be like, hey, just FYI, can't wait to fuck you, but I don't come from vaginal penetration. I only come from blowjobs. You don't necessarily have to give me a blowjob, but I just want to let you know now. Somehow let's make this sexy again and start fucking. Like that's a version of that conversation.
I think he felt like he had a get out of jail free card because he knew I'd only been with women. So he didn't very well.
I think a lot of people in general just don't communicate well in bed.
See that because I had a friend who's a lesbian who only would sleep with women who had never been with women before. So it's almost the same thing because then it was like to her, it was like, oh, well, these people don't have anything to compare it to.
But then I just recently had sex with a guy, and like he was hard for over an hour, and I was like, this happened?
Right.
Like I was in complete shock.
Over an hour.
And sometimes you're gonna get a guy who lasts a minute. It's all different makes and models.
Been there, yes.
I've had both extremes now.
Over an hour. That guy's a champ.
I think I've been hard for an hour, sure, but like fucking maybe a half hour a few times.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I'm still new with the terminology, so yeah, like you stop for a few minutes, but like, and then it started up again, and I was in complete shock because I was used to no hardness, guys.
But typically, like that's why some people say that like a group sex encounter, you want more women than men, but actually you want more men than women because we have to recharge.
Right.
So when we come or our dick goes down, you're like, okay, where's the next dick? You don't want to wait for that one guy 20 minutes to an hour to be able to go again. You just want the next guy coming on in.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Wait, would you ever take Viagra?
If I felt like I needed it.
I feel like right now I'm going to go through a long period where I don't have sex with anybody.
Now, what do y'all consider the threshold to have the chasing Amy conversation? What's the threshold to call it sex for you? What do you for lady sex?
Well, I almost always now role play that I'm a guy,
Right.
like almost always. So, but I mean, I guess it could be.
Because obviously, if I finger a girl, I don't say that I had sex with her.
Right. I guess it would totally. I mean, if it was like, maybe that could be like if she got off from it, or oral sex, anal sex, penetration, going down on someone. I would consider those things. Sex.
Basically anything with her genitals, you would consider lesbian sex.
Yeah,
It really varies.
but it really varies on the
This
person.
is like a lesbian conversation too, because I've had this with lesbian girlfriends of mine, just being like, not like partners, but just my friends. And yeah, it's like, what is the definition?
You'll be like,
Right.
I fucked that girl, and the other ones, you told me you only fingered her, and then you're like, oh, well.
Yeah, but when you fuck someone from fingering, you know what I mean.
So do you have a difference between like, I kind of fingered a girl, and like, I fucking fuck that chick?
Yeah, because
Fucking and making love. I mean, but just with fingers.
right, or if you're just like teasing someone or something like that, and then you're not like really like get it. Like I wouldn't if you like circle someone's clit and then put your finger inside them, and that that's not to me wouldn't be sex. But then if you kept doing it, I guess then it would build to sex. I guess.
Tell me more about this the role playing. What's
I
been that
love
been
role
about?
playing. I got into that when I was younger, like even in high school. I used to go on AOL, I used to go into chat rooms, and I would do like cyber sex a lot, which is funny too because I can't spell for shit.
Well, yeah.
It's funny. So my spelling must have been brutal, but I used to pretend I was a guy, and then I would also go into like lesbian ones. So I got into it through that.
So you were still talking to guys in the lesbian ones?
I would go and pretend that I was a guy and talk to girls, straight girls, quote unquote.
Okay.
So when you do the ASL in AOL, I would be like, oh, I'm an 18-year-old guy in Massachusetts or whatever. Why? And then I would also go into lesbian ones and be a woman and like talk to people in that. Of course, who knows what the actual gender is of the people behind their things.
Because as a former 12-year-old who was on AOL, I had also gone into like the lesbian chat room, pretend to be lesbian to get pics, and I'm pretty sure it was just guys and other guys trading different porn pics that we did. I'd be like, this definitely isn't you because I got this one from someone else 3 weeks ago.
Billy, totally. We probably talked because
oh shit, that's awkward.
One time I was talking to this girl I used to talk to all the time. Finally, she, quote unquote, was like, let's, phone sex. I'm like, okay, I call. And it was a guy. And he was like, I can't believe you're actually a girl. And I was like, why did you amp this up to phone? Like, we could have just.
He was expecting a dude.
Yeah. And
he was amped for it.
Right. I was like, this is way too complicated for my high school brain. So then.
How old-ish was he? Did he sound like an adult person?
Older.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I used to even go on and pretend I was a gay guy and like do stuff with gay guys. Like, that would be kind of fun. But role playing with partners, I didn't really do that in college, I think. And then I didn't really do that the year after college. And then I started like doing stuff with like, talking dirty a little bit. I'd say about a year after college, I was with the first person that was like into like a little bit of anal, a little bit of choking, and like a little bit of talking dirty, not too much. It's funny. It's like the more I got into stand up, the more like the freakness started
the
popping
creativity,
up.
yeah.
Maybe that's
all
what
the creative juices that can't go out on stage are coming out in the bedroom.
Right. Yeah. And then it was, do you remember at the Laugh Lounge? You remember that bartender Shatima? Smoking hot, looked like a Barbie, black Barbie.
You.
Remember? You remember she was the
I didn't go to Laugh Lounge much. My first stop was always Eastville, which was after Laugh Lounge.
Right. You never went over there? You would know who she was. I felt like such a boss.
I had classes.
Because people were always like, oh, that bartender's so hot. And I was like, ha ha.
You got with her?
Yeah, for a while. And she was, did you ever meet her, Becca? She was like she was so smoking.
But I feel like I heard you talking about it.
Yeah, that was like a pride point for sure. Definitely. But
was the AOL chatting stuff, was that purely sexual or curiosity, or was that like at any point like questioning like a gender identity?
I think then it was literally that I didn't know that I could be a woman with other women. But like now when I do gender role playing, it is like I like to express myself as a guy. Like it's like, say there's like a gender spectrum, like that's when I get to like play around with that spectrum. But like I was with this girl a little while ago and she was like, oh, I can't wait to something your pussy. And I was like, ugh, like that turned me off. Like I was like, ugh, get the fuck out of here.
What, something your pussy?
She was like, I can't wait to go down on your pussy. Or just her using that term, I was like, ugh, like I wasn't into it. So I don't know what's going on.
I get that. I had a chick who she wanted me to, she had like real penis envy, like for real. She wanted me to suck on her clit. She's like, I want you to pretend you're blowing a guy.
Yeah.
So she suck my clit and just like move your, like she wanted me to bob my head. Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
I was fine with it. I just never gone down on a woman in that way before.
Yeah.
Like doing a head bob. So
see, I like it if a girl does that to me, but if a girl asks me to do that to them, I'm you know what? I get so into if someone else is turned on by something that off the top I'm like, but you know what? If some hot girl was like, do this and I'll fucking drive me nuts, I would get into it.
Yeah.
But she'd have to be I'm very attracted to femininity. I would rather be with a super feminine faggy little guy than with a masculine woman.
Well, see, that's interesting. So,
I just find femininity attractive and masculinity not attractive.
Right.
Even though I respect it to the fullest. It's just not,
It's so funny. I was saying
movements,
this before.
not just like the whole like
the look,
everything.
Yeah, ruggedness.
Fucking someone being a bitch.
You don't like
dumb bitch. No
you don't want like butch women.
No.
Yeah, not at all.
Repulsed. Yeah, I'd rather be with a little Twinkie guy.
Yeah,
some little like bitch that's like I'm a slut. Come here, daddy. Blah blah blah. I'd rather that than
put on your strap on and fuck him.
Yeah, I'd rather that than some big troglodyte being like, let's arm wrestle. I'm like, I don't want to do this.
It's funny you say that because, like, before we started, I had mentioned this memory. I don't know why I have attached to you.
But I had boyfriends in high school. I had tons of boyfriends. And I had sex with a guy in high school. He was such a nice guy, too.
Right. But, like, I had this memory of you
twice,
from,
and
like...
I did not like it. Yeah, I had sex with this guy, John. He was so nice. But in high school, I had boyfriends, and I would give them blowjobs and stuff. And I didn't hate that. I just didn't, like, love it.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I never wanted to
hold
hold their
hand. I would like this to be
or...
smaller and have a hood over it.
Yeah. I just didn't really. I don't know. But then when I had sex with this guy, and I really, I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah. Which is so. I just wanted the memory I had of you was that we were at Eastville talking. You just came back from like a little hiatus up north, and you come back and said like, yeah, I even like was dating a guy for a little bit. And
no. Not me. Couldn't have been. Just couldn't have been me.
For maybe 4 or 5 years,
Wow.
I had this memory attached to you, and then you were saying that you would rather.
There's no way. I mean, when I took that year off, I did have a string of relationships, but they're all with women, very women.
Right. That's very interesting. Especially when did you start hooking up with girls?
So right when I got to college. I got to college, I went to this all-women's school, and I was kind of homophobic in high school. Simmons. I used to make fun of gay kids in high school. Did you know any gay kids in high school?
Just gay boys.
When were you out?
No, I think for me,
And my roommate, you can't tell is gay. You cannot tell.
Yeah.
No, I suppressed it, and also my father happens to be a man of the cloth. But I was friends with girls, unlike Emma, who hates the butch lady. Well, doesn't hate them.
Not hate, full respect. I'm just not attracted.
What's funny is I've made out with more butch lesbians than you, I guess now.
I've never made out with one.
See, and I've made out.
One time I made out with kind of an andro girl when I was first coming out. But wait, hear who Becca's attracted to.
Yeah, so they're andro or butch girls, and so in high school, of course, my best friends were like the girly girls. But then I didn't know what was going on, but I was always wanting to be what I thought was best friends with these like super edgy, tough girls, and we had nothing in common.
Like the sporty ones.
The sporty ones, and there was no reason for me to want to be friends, and I was just like, oh, they're just cool, but like nothing in common. Right.
And then, so she likes more masculine ones. Yeah. Actually, it was so funny when we were looking at the apartment. We had like an ongoing thing that Becca likes more sturdy girls a little bit. Okay. We're looking at the apartment. We have a really small
Did you just call yourself sturdy?
No, she's not sturdy, but she likes more sturdy.
Okay.
So we were looking at and you cannot tell that she's gay, or you cannot tell that she would be with women at all. So we have a real estate person showing us around. We're looking at this place, and I hear from the bathroom. So he can obviously not tell like what her situation is. I hear from the bathroom because the bathroom's very small, and she's like, "This apartment's gonna work. The kind of women I'm attracted to won't fit into the bathroom." And I was like, "Okay, all right." And real estate, I was like, "What is happening right now?"
No.
But they could fit into the bathroom. So people are different. Thank God people are attracted to masculine women. I don't understand it, but bless them, bless them, bless them, bless them. Thank God. It's great. Great.
But you got the Simmons, and you were, and just
so I got
right
the Simmons. No, not at all. I was so uncomfortable and nervous. Like I was really nervous, and I met this girl, probably the most masculine person I've been with. In her energy, she was like very aggressive, and I so appreciate it because I think I would have been too scared to come out. But literally, it was like and my roommate was totally straight, Maggie, and Maggie was. No, she wasn't my roommate. I had these other two roommates. Maggie became my roommate, but Maggie was the girl I was with's roommate. So this girl, Angela, was like, "You seem gay." And I was like, "I'm not gay. I'm not gay." And then...
Did you have like the Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes haircut then?
No,
too?
I had long hair.
Okay.
Yeah, and then...
gosh, I cannot picture you with
I had long hair. And then we ended up hooking up, and I remember like she went down to me, and then right away I was like, "I want to go down on you too." And she was like, "Oh, you don't have to." And I remember the first couple times we hooked up, she was always playing Requiem for a Dream in her room. It was super weird. So we hooked up, but I would never spend the night. I didn't really like her as a person. And then, but she was great because she really like just had me come out of the closet. And then I had this amazing girlfriend, Erica, who I'm good friends with now. Erica was awesome. Erica was a little bit andro, so Erica is also the more masculine person I've been with. And then I was on campus and I saw these cuties going by, and someone was like, "Oh, they're lesbians too," and I was like, "They're lesbians?" Because they were
then
super
I'm
feminine,
yeah.
And I was like, "I didn't know that was a thing." And like this girl, the older one of them, really classically pretty girl, Lily. I ended up cheating on Erica, leaving her. And then we ended up becoming friends and stuff. And I was with Lily for like 2 years. Okay. And that was like that was a big love for me. And then the person I was just out of something with was a big love. The person I was just out of something with was like the first time I pictured having like a family and a future with the person and all that.
You want a family?
Shoot me. I didn't think I did, but then, then with her, I was like
currently, like, is that something you would want?
I'm still like holding on to the fantasy of me and this person maybe being together, but I don't really see it happening necessarily. But I don't know. I mean, I would want to be a lot more successful in entertainment. Like, I would want to make a lot more money and be able to like provide for a family. I don't know, man. Things feel a little bleak right now, but I think, but yeah, I would like to. I mean, I think I want a family. I would like to have a kid, maybe. Yeah. I guess.
I guess.
I can't.
I guess isn't like the best answer for like you want a kid. I mean,
I want to have a kid, but I can't.
you should never answer the question of do you want a kid with a shrug.
Right, sure, baby. But I guess I would. I just can't imagine who the person is going to be that's going to be my partner. I don't know. If I could have a kid, but it's not my goal. It's not a goal. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so college came out pretty quickly. And then I was like, I'm bisexual. And then I was like, I'm gay about 5 months after I said I was bi. Mm. Yeah. That's what it was.
And no looking back since. Just hooking up with hotties nonstop.
Well, no, I had a person that was not like, I had a person that was, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not the most important thing. You know what I mean? How someone looks isn't the most important thing.
No, I just comparing that though with before when you were talking about how like, look, I just kind of only hook up with 8 to 9.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I try, but you know, it's internalized homophobia. It's some insecurity of mine where I try to be like, oh, look at these girls, blah blah blah. You know, it's got to be some stupid, total insecure thing of myself. You know what I mean? Because who cares? You want someone you can talk to. Totally. That's at the end of the day, you want to be able to talk to them, laugh with them, care what they think. And then you don't give a fuck what they look like. Lily or the other person I was with, they could have gained 800 pounds. I still would want to be with them. Literally. Like, I would have still, like, if they could have been big and not attractive or whatever, and I wouldn't have cared.
That's a beautiful thing. I fucking want that.
Yeah.
Wait, so for a guy, sorry. How do you, like, can a guy just be with anyone? Like, if you just
it's an amazing thing that everyone's like an individual and has their own preferences. It's like this crazy.
Right.
Like, I don't know. There's this, like, whole...
There's really no, like, guys would this or don't that. So, yeah.
Right, yeah. So it just depends.
I didn't think of that either.
It really does.
Okay. Interesting.
But even in porn, I would rather have someone that's, like, not quote-unquote attractive, but really into getting fucked than some hot girl that's not that into it. Like, who cares?
Sure. I mean, there's a bunch of porn stars who are, like, unconventional looking who have careers because they, like, look unique and they are really good at fucking.
I also think that me talking about my partners brings out the absolute worst in me. Like, I am trying to be like a pretty like genuine person that really like cares about like people and like for the right reasons and that. And then some kind of monstrous insecurities and awfulness come out when I'm talking about, you know, sex partners. I don't know what it is.
Are these sex partners who have left you scorned?
No.
Or just partners in general?
It's I'm with all but 3. I'm like good friends with a lot of my exes. Not good friends, but
I mean, like you wouldn't podcast with them. You're saying, like I
not
do.
the last few.
Like I do, fucking every week, like a psycho.
The last couple ones, besides the real love one, we're not necessarily talking that much, but you know, it's a process.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Might I recommend starting a podcast just talking to him because it seems to work wonders.
Yeah, really?
Well,
my
I've
one
actually
ex,
tried
Nicole,
dating some of them again after
recording.
Of course. That's happened a few times.
Oh, after recording?
Yeah, like we'll keep talking and then like we'll either go back to fucking or we'll try going on dates again. That's happened like several times now.
And then what happens?
And it still doesn't work. Yeah. They're like, you know what? You still suck. I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
Why? Why do they think you suck?
I don't know. I'm trying to get this girl Lisa. She's an improviser, sketch person at like in the pit crew, and we dated. Then we did the podcast.
Becca does improv.
Oh, okay, rocking.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more interested in the sex stuff. So I want to hear your story.
Oh yeah, keep going. Yeah.
I mean, there's not much story to it. This girl Lisa, she was on an early episode in like a year and a half ago, and then it was great, and we talked for like a couple hours, then we talked more, and then we said, let's try this again.
Right.
So we went on some dates, and then we kind of both like ghosted each other. And then I've since reached out being like, do you want to come back on the show? Like, I don't know what happened. Let's talk about it. And she's not answered.
Maybe
but
she's in a relationship.
Yeah.
Could be, but it's just like we didn't end off poorly.
Right.
But that's happened a few times.
She probably started seeing someone.
It could be. I don't know. I've had girls on the podcast who have boyfriends.
Right.
We're just
maybe the person she started seeing is like insecure with. Who knows?
Could be. But yeah, no, that happens sometimes. So I don't know. people sometimes go like, Billy, like you're cool enough with your exes. I'll be like, I mean, I'm cool enough with them. Like I give them a platform to call me a shithead if they want to.
Oh yeah, my ex Nicole, who is a good friend now. We had a really fun relationship actually, healthy fun, all that stuff. It was a great time. But she had an idea. She's like, "Why don't you start a podcast where you talk and then I just say everything that you said that was wrong?" And I was like, "Oh,
I'd
like
listen
our
to that.
relationship." Yeah, she's
I'd
like,
listen to that.
You just go and talk about your theories and this and that, but. And I was like, all right, well, we'll think about it. She's like, and then I'm like, Emma's wrong because I'm like, it would just be you and other exes listening to it.
Be
but
the nagging girlfriend.
Yeah,
The nagging ex. Yeah. That's wild.
No, but I think it's a great sign. I think it's a beautiful thing when you can be friends with your ex. I think
Right.
that like it's indicative of that I've been not as healthy spiritually and physically and everything these past couple years, that I've had more tumultuous relationships. 'Cause I think the better the relationship you are with yourself, the better you treat the other person. And what gets shocking is I'll treat the people I'm with very well. And then so when almost like sometimes I'll feel like I'm literally like a manservant. Like almost I'll have no boundaries with the amount of stuff that I'll do. And then people will be like, Emma, like, this has gone on too much. Like it's almost like you're with people. It's too much. Like it's too high maintenance. I'm doing too much, not advocating for myself. And then when I do, then it's almost like I lash out because it's all that built up stuff of me just accommodating everything. And then it's like boom, and then the girl's like, "What?" Because they never even saw it coming. Too, that happens a lot.
I think it's also just a sign of maturity when you can be like friends with exes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
Like,
it shows that you're not gonna hold on to some dumb little shit.
right. I think it's good to like if someone's like bashing an ex a lot, it probably means they're not over the ex.
And that,
you know?
yeah, that's definitely a red flag for me. Unless they're bashing them for some very legitimate things.
Right.
It's,
They stole my car or whatever.
Yeah. Then that's always a red flag for me. But
I'm probably not going to be able to date for a while.
this is like my last hurrah. I feel like if like this thing doesn't work out that I'm in, which like that it could, because she's in the poly world and the sex part. Like we met at an orgy.
Right.
You know?
Wow. And then you guys were just hooking up and you're like, we should get coffee sometime.
Well, we hooked up at the party, and then
What are you doing after this?
We
want to not have sex? Yeah.
We talked for a few hours. Like after we were fooling around, like we went down on each other, and then we like just were talking for a while. We watched these two guys blow each other who are across from us, and then
Nice.
And then we left. I was like asked around. We've been going out for a few months.
Also, I think you can tell, if someone's a giving sexual partner, communicate well sexually, it's going to say a lot about how you communicate in other ways.
Absolutely,
Because I think
those
it's
poly
indicative of
people
that.
love to communicate.
Yeah, I like that.
Arguably a little too much, but
I can see that
still.
too. I can see
But
that
they
too.
do. I mean, like I went to this thing called like a poly tea a couple weeks ago.
Where you literally have tea?
Kinda. It was like in the afternoon, like 2:00.
Adorable.
It's like someone's like big loft apartment thing, and there were like different discussion groups on different topics.
Love it.
So when the girl I'm seeing when she texted me asking me, I was like, okay, I put in my iCal as like weird non-monogamy circle jerk.
Right.
I was just like, okay, let's keep talking about things we kind of already all know the answers to.
Right.
Like no one's gonna
Totally.
like disagree. Everyone read The Ethical Slut and More Than Two, which are like the big poly books, and so we all agree.
Right. But sometimes it can be still good to like process stuff.
Sure.
What do you think of people that go from poly relationships to non-poly? Do you
I mean,
judge
just
them?
kind of no. I mean, I don't even call myself polyamorous because my whole thing is like I haven't had a girlfriend since I'm 19. So let me
Right.
focus on one before I focus on getting 7.
Yeah,
But-
and also I think it can be a beautiful thing just being with one person. Like it's really beautiful. Like
I mean, I think the beautiful part is the connection. Whether or not you guys are
Yes.
exclusive doesn't make the thing beautiful or
Right.
not. Usually you agree to become exclusive with that person because you have such a beautiful connection.
Right. It's
And
exclusive by default. Like when I'm really like into a relationship and happy with it, it's like I couldn't even imagine being with someone else.
when I was seeing these two women, the one who broke up with me and the one I'm seeing now, I don't have like names for them. One's the kinky one, one's smitten A.
Hilarious. I do that too.
Well, because on the show I don't want
Girls don't like that. It's
I
disrespectful.
haven't named them.
Oh, I literally oh yeah. See, a lot of times a bad habit is I'll call them based on how I know them or what their profession is. So I'll be like, oh, okay, Cupid, or oh, social worker, or oh, stripper. Or
Well,
whatever.
with like I haven't been naming them. I'll probably beep their names, but it's just like I gave myself a rule: like 3 nights a week, I can have scheduled dates. They could be fuck dates. They could
And
be
then you're
Tinder
not
dates. They
doing
could be like
comedy
a
these
romantic
nights.
dates. I will try to. I am not like rolling in the book spots all the time. So like a lot of times I'm doing my mic, so
Right.
I might arrange them after doing a
Okay,
mic or
good.
two.
Yeah.
But sometimes also it might be just because I had work and maybe that's a day that I don't do comedy.
Right.
Because that was another thing.
Which is good too, because I've been too burnt out. Just you got to take nights off. You have to take nights off to live.
And I was doing the opposite because I noticed that in 2015 my comedy was suffering because I was going on all these Tinder dates and fucking and doing things. I was barely getting on stage, so I had to like step back. So 3 nights a week I can schedule something.
Right.
Anything else has to be a last minute booty call. But 3 nights I can have a schedule. And so, it was kind of like by default I was semi-exclusive with these two because what was happening was my 3 nights a week kept being like and so I didn't even have time. There was other people I met who I was like, oh, I totally want to go out. I'm just busy right now. And then I just didn't have a night for them. Yeah. I'd rather be with those two.
Totally.
And it was really beautiful for a few months until this one broke my heart.
But then what happened to the other one?
She is a professional opera singer. Yeah. And she gigs a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So right now she's in St. Louis for a couple months.
Okay.
And then she's going to be back here. But then in September, she moves to Germany.
Do you guys keep talking while she's away?
We were, anytime she left for a gig or even when I left for LA for like 10 days, we talk like every day.
Right.
She's hilarious. She's
fucking
great. I looked forward to talking to her every day.
Right.
And so the distance really didn't matter to me much. I was seeing I could go get sex if I needed it.
Do you like hearing about the people you're with who they're having sex with? Sometimes when I stop caring,
it depends on
I had
who.
an ex that used to like cue me in. She'd be like, "Oh, I had sex with this person. They did this to me and this to me," and then I like that. I thought that was
sex
hot.
Partners. I tend to like that more often than my dating partners.
Yeah, if it had been like,
but it also depends on who the dating partner
my God.
is. So like, I can't control that because she's got all these kink partners. She's got people just for kink. Like last weekend, she went to a BDSM party. She didn't like fuck anybody, but she was telling me about like how she was like tied up and was getting spanked and things and. So I can't kind of help but here because that's kind of all she does. That's her social life is sex and poly and kink. And so like I kind of can't avoid it.
Right.
But I don't ask as much. But maybe with like a sex partner, I might ask for more details. So if like a different friend of mine who I like to fuck who lives in Brooklyn, I might be, what'd you do this week? And she's like, oh, I saw this guy. I'm like, oh yeah, tell me about it. What happened?
What do you do? Yeah.
And that can be fun.
Yeah.
But the people I like have more like strong romantic feelings for.
Yes, totally.
It's not that it turns me off, but I'm just like I don't really care to.
Yeah. I agree.
But this one who moves to Germany, she broke things off because of the impending move, and
it's tough, man.
And then said we're not meant to be together. I'm like,
bitch, like
that's heavy.
Yeah,
heavy. You could just say like, look,
I'm moving.
Yeah, I'm moving, and I don't want to do long distance. Like that's the light version. Don't have to like. Make this philosophical.
Right. I don't know the joke well enough to paraphrase it, but Sam Morril has a great joke about that. Do you know the one I'm talking about? I don't want to botch it too much, but it's basically like the girl's like, I have a boyfriend, and even if I didn't, I wouldn't be into you.
Oh, yeah,
and he's like, yeah, lady, I got it.
You don't have to reject me twice.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. I love that joke.
It's a great. He's very funny. Yeah, as are you.
Appreciate it.
Emma, thanks for
Of course, thank you for talking to me.
Thank you, roommate, jumping in.
Yay.
You were fun.
The best.
Anytime.
Yes, we learned a lot.
If you ever have a question for a straight guy or just a penis wielder, period,
please
do.
I literally can't believe that we hadn't conceptualized about the role of the balls.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, but I mean,
because like you have like these because you can have strap-ons that are penis shaped, but so many I see like at because the party I only go to one sex party. It's a very queer party,
right?
So you see all sorts of contraptions and stuff. So most of the strap-ons are all these like fieldos and they're non-penis shaped strap-ons.
Right. Oh, I like the more. There's this.
You want one with the veins?
Oh yeah, this brand called Vixen that I really think is very good. You got to get the most expensive, the best.
Yeah, you don't want to go cheap on your sex toys, people.
No.
Go to manwhorepod.com, click the Babeland banner on the side.
Exactly. Love Babeland. Absolutely. Vixen is the best. The best, hands down.
Unofficial endorsement by
absolutely. Totally. But no, I didn't think about, but I'm sure that when girls are like doing stuff to you, they have to pay attention to the balls.
Well, different guys like different levels of ball play. Some guys love getting the balls sucked. Me, I like a tickle here and there. It depends, especially if everything's really wet down there. Then that can feel nice. But I'm not like, I don't need my balls to get involved too much. Just depends on what they like.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you have enlightened us, Billy.
I'm glad,
Thank you.
as you have myself and my
Yeah,
listeners.
any questions anytime, let me know.
Absolutely. Where can people find you? You're like all over the place. You have a Sirius XM
Yeah,
show
I got a
now?
show on Sirius XM. It's the first Tuesday of the month at 3 p.m. It's called The Check Spot. I don't talk about sex on that. It's all I take people that have comedy albums not in rotation on Sirius, and we feature a couple albums and an interview, and then from there they get into rotation on Raw Dog, Channel 99, Sirius XM. If any of your listeners want a Sirius subscription, I can probably hook that up. Just have them reach out to me and say they heard it on the podcast.
Absolutely.
And then my website's emmacomedy.com.
emmacomedy.com. And Twitter?
Twitter at Emma Willmann. I don't tweet that much, but it's 2 L's and 2 N's. I need to tweet
Lady,
more.
what you doing? You gotta get on the.
I gotta get better about
There's
Twitter.
surely a manager yelling at you like, Emma, you gotta tweet more. I don't understand it either, but the kids say you gotta do it.
The kids love it. And then I've started this new video podcast with Go Magazine, which does have a little bit of sex stuff in it. Go Magazine's like a quote unquote women's magazine.
Okay.
That twice a month video and podcast.
Okay. You're all over the place.
We'll see, man. Trying.
Yeah, check her out, everybody. She's great. Thank you so much.
Appreciate
this has
it.
been great. Learning more about you.
Yes.
Now that I've known you so long.
Yeah. It's amazing what talking about sex can enlighten you to.
All right. Later, everybody.
Thanks, Billy.
I'm a big Emma Willmann fan. She's kind of crushing it right now. She's like the comedy it darling. And you're going to see a lot more of her in the future. So remember that fucking name, Emma Willmann. But don't forget my name either, okay, folks? And that means following me on Twitter at @TheBillyPresida. Say hello. Use the hashtag ManWhorePodcast. Give me your comments about the show. And Facebook people, I promise, I know I've been saying this. I've been getting friend requests. You're welcome to follow me on Facebook. I swear I will make a fan page soon. Okay? Soon enough. But until then, you're welcome to follow me on there. If you want to email me, email your comments, your questions, your booby pictures over to manwhorepod@gmail.com. And if you want to join the conversation, head on over to the Man Whore Podcast subreddit, where you can make comments about each individual episode. I also post some exclusive pictures there, some Man Whore Podcast news. Now, if you haven't already, people, open your iCal or your GCal right now. All right? Go to Monday, June 6th and make a notification alarm for Man Whore Monday. And all you got to do on Man Whore Monday is go to manwhorepod.com. You'll find your instructions there. It'll be super easy, and it'll be the best birthday present you could give me. Let's hit that top 10, baby. Now, before I go, I want to give you a little teaser of my mini bonus episode with AJ. So you all take care of yourselves and stay slutty.
Jargoning is when somebody will give you a long-winded reply to a very simple question of like, what are we? Or how do you feel about this? Where is this going?
Yeah, but you know, like I don't
Are
really...
you leaving your relationship? And here comes the jargon.
Am I leaving my relationship?
Yeah,
is a
like
long one.
very like just long. So here comes like a long email or a long text with a bunch of vague ass language. You know, that's just like, you know, the way that I feel about you in terms of the way that I feel about the other people of my life. You know, like just like I feel like that like there's just so much love between all of us, and the love that I feel for you is really distinct. But then I mean, yeah, there is her, and blah blah blah. Like just goes on and on and on. And that is when somebody can't just fucking let their balls drop out of their body and say, yeah, I'm not your boyfriend, or yeah, I don't see a future here. Like it's the most roundabout way of just saying nothing.